What's up, lorers? Welcome back to another episode of Lore Pod. I'm Lex, and with me, as always, is Doom Corleone behind the computer and Henry, Too Many Cooks Castle. Today, we're joined by a very special guest, our longtime friend, forever follower, and absolute pleasure every time he hits. Please welcome J Spot.
How you doing? Just trying to hit that J spot.
Woo woo! Woo!
Spot up anywhere on the court. Shoot a J. That's what it means.
No kidding. Today, we're going to begin with talking about the most recent Alex Perez's Q&A. So, Doom, please start us off.
Let's jump right into it. Okay. So, the first question we got is from Liam / Kate Bishop fan. Interesting. The question he asked is there any truth to Yelena being in Brand New Day? Other sources mentioned it a long time ago, but nothing has been mentioned since. Alex responds, I've heard she is in it. Likely a small cameo. Nothing major to add to the story. But who wants to start this one off?
Yelena? Is that
the Black Widow's sister?
New Black Widow?
Sister White Widow. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if she's going to be in the movie. It was going to be a small cameo because there's a lot to focus on with just Spidey alone and the minor villains and major villains that are in the film. So I don't really take it for her having a big role in it. Basically, just her possibly looking around, doing some Thunderbolt stuff, or New Avenger stuff, trying to
get it right, homie. Gosh.
Yeah, I know. My apologies. Yeah, that makes total sense that she's just gonna have a small cameo.
Let's see. I think there can be a small chance that Yelena is in Brand New Day. It makes a lot of sense. The only thing I'm having a difficult part with is how they're going to fit her into that, just because the movie's already kind of villain heavy already, and just to kind of throw her in there, I don't know, just off the top of my head, I don't know really see where she would be in the movie. So do you guys have like a proper response to that?
In a way, just because the introduction of Fantastic Four shit at the end of Thunderbolts, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe something along with that, where they kind of have her as a collector, almost like, hey, Spider-Man, we need you for this next adventure or something like that. Maybe that's what brings him into Battleworld.
That's interesting. Okay. What about you, Mr. Lex?
I kind of do piggyback off of J Spot's answer, because I feel like she could be the replacement Black Widow, kind of like how we saw in, what was it, Endgame, where she was kind of the woman in the chair sending everyone off to, okay, you're going to do this part of the world and you're going to do this mission, and everyone would just follow her. So I could see her being that collector type person of, oh, Shang-Chi, like, you were always here, let's get you in here. Or these not new, but these transitioning characters from the Netflix Marvel shows to actual MCU. Like, oh, there's Daredevil now for sure in the MCU. Let's get him. Elektra, Bullseye, whoever else. So I do agree with J Spot over here.
So are you guys in agreement then that the story picks up right after Thunderbolts? Is that?
That's a good question. I didn't get to really like dive deep into Thunderbolts. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of one of those movies I put in the background. And what made it more interesting to me, and it's not just because like I don't know, maybe the redundancy of using Avengers, and then the whole kind of cute thing where they did the asterisks with New Avengers on it. To bring it back to like a more serious note, yeah, I think maybe she will be kind of like a Captain America type of leader in this. If people aren't really picking up with Sam Wilson being Captain America, the leader of the Avengers, think about it, because what was it? Brave New Day, right? Brave New Day? No, Brave New Day was Captain America?
Brave New World.
Oh, yeah. Brave New World.
Brave New World? Okay, so Brave New World, that type of, like, it's just, maybe it didn't click with the people and they want to try something new, and she could be that kind of bridge.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, the next question is from QNCY Charles. Quincy Charles. His question is, good morning, Alex. I heard a rumor that Sony may sell the rights to Spider-Man back to Disney, as long as they can distribute the films. Have you heard that? And Alex responds, I find it difficult to believe they'd let go of their cash cow, excuse me. So let's start with Mr. Lex. What do you think about Quincy Charles's question and Alex's response?
It's funny because Jay Shot and I were actually just talking about this a little earlier, where it doesn't seem likely that Sony would give up their cash cow. However, as he and I were discussing, a lot of people thought the same thing about George Lucas with his Star Wars property and Disney, where Lucas would still be making so much money if he owned it. And sure, he's getting royalties and whatnot as, time goes on. However, he would have been getting even more money if he was still the sole owner of Star Wars. But Disney gave him a price. There was a price. They gave him his billions, and George Lucas signed it off. So, as impossible as this deal seems, because Sony really only has Spider-Man as like their front runner, if George Lucas would sell, maybe Sony would sell. But my opinion is no. However, we have Lucas Disney. J Spot, what do you think?
Kind of picking up on the whole George Lucas and royalties, there is that little part of me that thinks like the only thing that Sony really has to offer right now is Spider-Man, but that's a big part of the universe, right? Marvel universe.
Yeah, I mean, do you personally think though that Sony would sell? Like, just gun to your head.
Nah,
No?
nah. They don't have enough. They don't have a big enough entity in the game. You know what I mean? Spider-Man is their cash cow.
Okay. For me, it's a definite no. And the only reason I say that is because, let me give you guys an example. If I owned a shoe, right? A shoe that was really expensive and it was one of one. No one else, like there's a lot of people that are trying to get this shoe and they'll pay crazy amounts of money to get it. Why would I ever let that go? It really just doesn't make any sense. There's no benefit for me, the owner, to sell it. I don't see a reason why they would sell it. But Enrique, do you have anything different?
You only have the one shoe though. You need two. I mean, that's why I would sell it. It's just,
Yeah, this is like their goose with the golden egg. I fear although people would like to see Spider-Man a lot more collabing with the other heroes, this is Sony's big shot moneymaker of a franchise, so I don't think they're gonna sell it either. Nah, I know like they probably won't even try. Like they won't think about it, or there'll probably be a big contender or offer from Disney, and they're probably gonna think about it. But I highly doubt they're gonna take it.
But then I gotta ask, I guess you two, because you two are more like solid no's. How do you feel about what J Spot and I were saying though about Lucas? Like nobody in a million years would have thought Lucas would sell off his baby, and he did. So just like the off chance possibility of that happening, like you two don't see it.
So for me, I don't see it, mainly because George Lucas is one person, right? He's one person that started Lucasfilm, so he's pretty much the sole proprietor. Well, not the sole proprietor, but he's like the majority owner of that company, so he can make all those big decisions. When it comes to Sony, Sony is not just one person; it is literally a company, and so with not one person really being like the creator of some, like in terms of Star Wars with like the way George Lucas is, it just I really just don't see them selling it. It doesn't make any sense. Like just for me.
To be fair, Avi Arad, he is like the primary financier producer that runs the Spider-Man branch of Sony. So he does have a lot of say, and you always see his name pop up in the beginning of every Spider-Man movie. Um, but he does have to answer to the higher ups in Sony too. So yes, he's correct that there is a whole team behind this. It's not just one person like George Lucas was with Star Wars.
I mean, do you think like, so you know how Disney has released the Acolyte, even Kenobi, they have a bunch of like movies that they
And
can have on their own streaming service now, right? Do they really lose a lot for not having all the Spider-Man movies? You know what I mean? Like,
So I can answer that for you. So we actually talked about this on our last episode. Did you know that when the Spider-Man trailer came out, it had the most views out of any trailer that was ever released within 24 hours?
for Brand New Day?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So just
Wow.
just that alone, why would you ever give that up?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and it's not much that I think Disney can do like with Spider-Man's title. You know, they've released the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I heard was a great series.
Yep.
But it's one superhero. You know, like they did it for X-Men, but do you think they're really going to shell out for another? Spider-Man is huge, but it's not like he hasn't been being taken care of. If that makes sense.
yeah, I just don't see it. But that's just my opinion. No? Okay. All right, let's move on to the next question here. It's from Michael. He asks, after Spider-Man Brand New Day is released, will you be able to tell us all the details about the development history of No Way Home and Brand New Day? / initial plans, aborted arcs, alternate endings, etc. Your mention of Smith and the Spider Slayers being part of the pre-multiverse plans for No Way Home sounded intriguing, and it would be cool to hear more about what could have been. Alex Perez responds, for sure. So let's start with you, Mr. Lex. What do you think about Michael's question and Alex's response?
I mean, I love the response, short, sweet, straight to the point. I think it was such a simple response because it is really a simple answer, because after the fact, now that everything's out and made, well, of course, let's do the behind the scenes and let's do what was cut on the cutting board and all the drawings and storyboards that could have been, and whatever plots or points that they originally wanted to do that was then changed because we were still going through the Marvel Sony not feud, but the how much can you use Spider-Man and for what, and etc. I mean, I'm definitely excited to see the what ifs and what could have been, but I mean, it's at this point now everything is canon. This is the story laid out, so we'll see what Brand New Day does, and we'll be able to laugh and look back at possible alternate plots. J-Spot, how do you feel about everything?
I'm dying at his answer, bro. Like, who says that? Like, all right, it's a loaded question. I get that. You know what I mean? And the question is just, will you be able to? And it's so worded afterwards, like, sure, yeah, because it's almost like, how do you put it, man? You already have an idea of what's coming next. You know what I mean? Like, uh, especially DVDs. You know, when they release those and they have extra scenes and all that. They don't even do that nowadays, right? Not that I'm not that I don't, just
Some
because streaming
kinda
is
do,
so.
but yeah, that's rare.
Blu-ray is the biggest thing that we got nowadays, right? Blu-ray. Yeah.
I feel like streaming just beats Blu-ray numbers too, right? I mean, guys, would you agree that there's more digital?
1,000%.
It's
Yeah.
sad but true. Yeah.
Sad but true. I agree.
I mean, so we kind of lose out on that whole benefit of like extended cuts. You know, Lord of the Rings did an extended cut of movies, and how many do director's cuts? And this is what we want: theatrical versions and extended releases and all that, like kind of like backgrounds and stuff like that. But when you see this question, yeah, dude, I'll be able to answer all that after the movie comes out.
So for me, I took this two ways. The
I
first
say
way,
a lot of things two ways.
the first thing I thought of was like, imagine you're in school, right? It's a subject that you're struggling on mightily. So you go and you try to get help from a tutor, right? And you go and you ask this tutor, "Hey tutor, I'm having trouble with so and so, yada yada yada. Can you help me with this?" And you ask her very specific questions, right? When you throw those in there, and she just replies, "Yeah."
Pretty much.
God.
Dude, imagine wait. How many times a year is this coming up?
Do I move this 2 over here, or do I divide it by pi? How do I do this? Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
But the second part was, so this is actually the first time I've heard of Is it? Am I saying it right? Smith and the spider. Huh?
Smythe, maybe. Smythe.
That's what I was thinking. It's Smith, the Smythe, Spider Slayers. This is the first time I've actually heard them mentioned at all. So
Is that what like the hand is?
I just looked it up not too long ago. It's apparently a villain team from the 1994 series of the animation,
Oh,
where
which
it's a group of robots that are built and funded by J. Jonah Jameson from an ex-scientist named, or the Smythe guy. He's the one that was the ex-Oscorp scientist, has a hatred for Spider-Man as well as J. Jonah Jameson. So they build these robots to, go and find Spider-Man to fight him.
very interesting. Very interesting. So just the second part of how I took it pretty much was, since this is, I've never really heard them mentioned before in any rumors. This is actually the first time I've heard them. Just don't think, if I was Alex, I wouldn't answer it either, just because it could be a surprise for after Secret Wars. So,
well, because you're still have a lot more Spider-Man to come.
Exactly. So that's why I assume he was very short answered with that question. But anything else to add, Mr. Henry?
Yeah, so it says here that it was basically a group of robots that resemble like a mech suit, and that I guess J. Jameson, who financed it for Spencer Smythe's production of the Spider Slayers, he would then send them out to go hunt down Spider-Man. So yeah, it's a little obscure. I mean, that's a way out of left field villain to throw in there, so I can see why they probably put that on the cutting room floor. But it's interesting. It is interesting. Yeah,
That sounds like a good story for after Secret Wars, really.
yeah, I would think so too.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay. AD underscore ask Alex and Lizzie. Hiya, Alex. Thanks for doing this again. So, because there's kind of a lack of clarity regarding the main villain of Brand New Day, what would you say are the motives behind whoever this is and the way it connects to the integral conflict they may have with Spidey at the heart of this movie? Alex responds, there are many villains in this movie with different purposes and goals. Some are resolved really easily, others take a larger chunk of the runtime to solve, and some don't get resolved at all, leaving it open for the next installment. But all have one thing in common that's stopping them from achieving their goal: Spider-Man. Mr. Lex, can we get your reaction to that question and Alex's response?
Like I said in the last episode, I love Alex's responses because this isn't his first rodeo and he knows almost how to BS his way through these questions to give a response that sounds so profound yet so generic that you're like, well, of course these villains will either get resolved or not resolved. Well, of course one issue will take 5 minutes and 20 minutes or the whole movie. And I love his responses because if you read it again, he did not say anything. He didn't answer, okay, who could be the potential villain, what exact motivator or conflict will be. So, yes, I can't add more to his response because of how generic it is. But I will say I love the way Alex is handling these questions. And I feel if he was like an actor for the MCU, Marvel would love him because he's no Tom Holland just spoiling secrets left and right or whatever. I mean, J Spot, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, Tom Holland has an issue with that, doesn't he? I don't know if you guys caught it, and it's pretty funny. He goes, "Well, there's one person in the entire MCU that's going to remember Peter Parker." But, huh? So there is somebody out there in the entire Spider-Verse, but no one's addressed that in there, so it's pretty neat. But again, yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's kind of interesting to see him take that turn where he's taking what you're saying, he's giving just enough for you to be like, oh right, I get it, and then in the back of his head, he's like, you don't understand the thing that we're doing right now, huh? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I love it. Like, it's not even BSing. It's just like such a wordsmith. And he gets away with it, and you're left with, wow, that was really deep, Alex. Like, yeah,
Exactly. Following script.
exactly. I mean, Doom, how do you feel about his answer?
Well, I have a different approach to his answer.
Yeah,
I
sure.
do think that question was very loaded. I'm actually surprised he didn't give a very short answer, to be honest. But judging off his answer, he said there are many villains in the movie with different purposes and goals. That's very interesting to me, just because the last Spider-Man movies, we've had multiple villains like in No Way Home, but with this one, it's a little different, I guess, because we're dealing with essentially a different Peter Parker. Like, a lot has really happened to him since No Way Home. Like, his best friends don't remember him. He lost his girl. His girl's dating somebody else. So there's a lot of factors, and plus he's mutating. So I just have so many questions, more so about the villains and their purposes and goals. I really have unresolved questions for that. But he also says here they take a larger chunk of the runtime to solve. So what that initially tells me is that they're either working together, the villains are, or they're working separately, and they're all trying to get they're all trying to get one, what is it called? One thing, I guess. One power. I guess you call it power.
Goal.
Common goal. There. Thank you. Yes. So that actually is very interesting to me. That kind of tells me a lot about the movie, about the direction at least. So I honestly, this question left me with a lot more questions than answers, really. But I'm really interested to hear Henry's take on this one.
Yeah, you're Alex's targeted audience with that.
To me, I'm kind of connecting the dots in my head, like that Charlie Day meme in Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the board. I'm already thinking. I'm already thinking of like, okay, like if there's some minor villains with some different purposes and goals, I'm already thinking, oh, that's probably the street level villains like Tarantula or like the other ones you see like in the classic Spider-Man covers, like in those poses. But then like for the larger chunk of the runtime, I'm already thinking maybe Tombstone because he's primarily the big threat we see in the moving RC truck thing, or and then Scorpion. Scorpion's another big villain that we haven't seen in such a long time. So I'm thinking, okay, he's another one. Um, and like I'd like to piggyback off of you, thinking that there's some that are doing their own thing, but then they'll probably all converge to either get something or to team up to fight Spidey. Who knows? Um, but yeah, it usually tends to be like that. Usually in the third act when they all converge and then they start to go after either Spider-Man Frank or this new character that we suspect to be Jean Grey. Who knows that they're chasing after her? Could be a lot of things. There's a lot to see, and then we don't have a definite answer from Alec Perez here because I get it. As an insider, you don't want to spill nothing like Mr. Holland will do sometimes. So, anything is good. And just give us something.
That was very well said, by the way. Does anybody else have anything else to add?
I mean,
Oh,
well, go ahead.
so I noticed that we haven't touched upon this is a street level Spider-Man, right? So the villain, like I think maybe Tombstone is just like how you're saying, some of them are going to be playing bigger parts, some of them are going to be playing smaller parts, some of them just won't get resolved at all. Maybe Tombstone is just one of those keep it street level type of characters. That's what brings in Punisher, maybe like that whole introduction because he's a stronger person. Peter doesn't really like know a lot about crime, if that makes sense. He knows about massive happenings, but this is the first time where he's actually facing in a way, maybe like the truest of all evils. Yeah, Thanos is evil in a way, but at a snap of a fingers, is he really that bad, right? But when you look at someone like Tombstone or even Scorpion, these are like, bro, he has a poison, tail. So it's kind of interesting to see what they're gonna do with the rest of the Spider-Man series.
No, I mean, you literally took some of the words out of my mouth in that we're having a street level Spider-Man because with Scorpion, Tombstone, especially right now that they're not establishing the Sinister Six, like their own team, it's street level, And there were some talks about them doing if I remember it correctly, I believe the street level team or however you want to phrase it was the Justice of Brooklyn or Justice of something with New York, like Justice of Brooklyn, something like that, or Job. And if we're gonna get the street level team of Job going with other villains, because it might be Jean Grey as the villain at first, because she can't control her powers, or even the Hand, right, where they all converge together. I mean, if we get both of those groups together, it beats Spider-Man versus the Hand Job, and it's just that'd be a crazy. But that's the groups coming together, right? I mean, I don't think that, right? I mean, Henry, right? That's yeah. So if we get Spider-Man and the Hand Job, it's just gonna be a crazy film because it's all street level, and you don't get any better hand job than street level. So
Not from Tombstone, you don't.
exactly. So I just think it'd be an interesting direction. But that's my 2 cents on it.
I think Tombstone is what happens after the handshake.
I say it's gonna suck if he doesn't moisturize. His whole entire body's chapped.
Oh my goodness! That means he's been working at the job for a while.
It's a long time there.
My goodness. Okay. Let's move on to the next question here. This is from the same person, AD_. He asked, could we also be looking at a Val-like figure connected to the streets in this film? Alex responds, less Val, with 2 S's, more the leader, but actually good. That's very interesting. So let's start with you, Mr. Lex.
That's an interesting response, only because I feel like how many more characters are going to be in this movie? Because what was it, the first or the second to first question said, oh, we don't know how many, villains are, who's going to be there, motive. So we're already in this state of unknowing. And now you're telling me, oh, we are going to have so-and-so do this or a version of this and this. So how many characters and how many storylines and how many plot lines can you really fit in this movie without it just being a big mess? Not that now I'm doubting the success or how great this movie is going to be, but the more characters and the more plot lines I hear or see or rumored, the more it just makes me feel like, okay, you guys are juggling a lot, which is what Marvel was trying to do after Infinity War Endgame. And look at how they're basically rebooting all of, what was it, Phase 4 or Phase 5? No, Phase 4. How they're rebooting all of Phase 4 because it was too much to juggle. So I am not excited to hear this. It's more worrisome because how much can you add? But I mean, I don't know, J Spot, you have a different opinion or?
I like how he addressed that there's a leader, not necessarily that it's going to be a bad guy. I'm not even 100% sure. Val?
Yeah, Val was the villain in, was it Captain America? Captain America show? She was also the villain in Thunderbolts. She was the one that tried to take control of Sentry.
Yeah, she's the head honcho of the
Yeah. Also, just to answer your other question, the leader, he was the villain in Captain America Brave New World. He was the guy that was green with the brain showing out top of his head. That's who they're talking about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I'm at a loss for words with that one. I mean, it's a great question, but that's kind of what you want. Now I have something to look out for when the movie comes out.
Mm-hmm. So for mine on this one, it's very interesting to me because he mentioned the leader. The leader, the last time we saw him was in Captain America Brave New World. It was in that post-credit scene where he's talking to Sam and he's telling them that he needs to look out for the others. And what makes this interesting to me is the leader was in the raft the last time we saw him. He was with the Red Hulk and he's with a couple other villains. So the question I had then is, my original theory, if you guys watched the last episode, my original theory is that Tom Holland Spider-Man dies in this movie and he gets resurrected by the symbiote, and he's one of the survivors on the raft. So with me learning about the leader, I can't necessarily tell you if that confirms my theory or if that completely destroys it. Because I could see it going one of two ways. I could see the leader playing a big role from the raft. I can also see the leader escaping the raft. And then if they're saying he's going to be good, he's probably helping Jean Grey or whoever Sadie Singh's playing. But that's kind of where my head is at with this question. But what do you have, Henry? Do you have anything different?
Yeah, I read the answer more like a little diss on the leader's performance in Brave New World, to be honest. If you read it, it says less Val, more the leader, but actually good, like as a like a leader type of villain. So that to me, I'm reading that and I'm thinking, okay, he's implying that one of those villains that we've seen or heard of in the Spider-Man trailer is possibly gonna organize a group to like come together or like another big team up for the villains. I'm thinking Tombstone. We could have that charisma to bring, like how I believe we discussed this in a previous episode, where Tombstone could be that person to bring the villains together to go team up against Spider-Man.
Yeah, we said like the power vacuum of the Kingpin, he would
Yes.
be Kingpin 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought of when I read that answer. And I don't know if he implied that more the leader, but actually good. And I was like, ooh, he's kind of digging into that a little bit. Yeah, because I was gonna say I didn't like the leader's performance or his character as I thought he would have been in Brave New World. But that's just me. But yeah, that's how I read it.
I actually thought the leader was one of the best parts of Captain America. Like, but minus the Red Hulk. 'Cause the Red Hulk
I
was cool.
expected more, is what I should say. I expected more from him because he's like so many years ago in 2008's Hulk.
Okay.
I'm thinking, okay, when are we gonna see him?
Okay, from that perspective, I can see what you're saying. So, okay. Anybody have anything else to add?
I mean, just for your expectations, Henry. Yeah, he was teased in the 2008 Hulk, but up until Brave New World, it almost felt like MCU just scrapped it all. So just the fact that they're kind of, I don't know if paying homage would be the right thing or rebooting it, but just the fact that, for lack of a better phrase, they're rebooting or re-referencing Edward Norton's Hulk, you gotta give them credit. Because I honestly felt like they were just scrapping everything.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing what's her face as Betty back, Hulk's love interest. What's her name?
Betty Ross.
Betty Ross.
Yeah, Betty Ross. Seeing Betty Ross back, it's like, holy crap! Like, here she is. And then obviously seeing the actor who played the leader back, it's like, holy crap! Like, there he is again too. So, I mean, could they have been better? Yes, but coming from it looked like they were scrapped. I thought it was good enough.
I'm actually very happy that you brought up Betty Ross because I've been actually wanting to have this conversation for a long time. So I'm actually glad you brought that up. I actually thought when I saw her return in Captain America Brave New World, I thought that caused a huge plot hole. Because the last time we saw Betty Ross was in The Incredible Hulk, which was the first MCU movie. And we never saw her again. We don't know what happened with her. I don't even know if they implied it really, but we don't know what happened with her and the Hulk. We don't know what happened with the Hulk and General Ross, the father. So I have a lot of questions there.
Just really quick, my first question is, you said the Hulk was the first MCU movie?
It's the second.
Is it the second?
Iron Man.
You're right.
Iron
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna be like, wait a
I think you're talking about Eric Banner's Hulk.
No.
Oh,
I was talking about Edward Norton.
Edward Norton's Hulk?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but
that's the second one.
Yeah, but in terms of confusion, though, I could see it where we had the 2003 Hulk first, so I could see why it's like, oh, well, the Hulk came out before Iron Man, but Iron Man made the MCU.
Yeah.
But that's even better because I don't know if anybody knows this, if any of our fans know this, but did you know that they actually continued the story from 2003's The Hulk? The Incredible? Yeah, if you actually look at it, where did we leave off in that movie? He goes into Brazil and he kind of hides out and he tells them, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Where do we catch up with Edward Norton's Hulk in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, he's in Brazil in that little
Hmm.
bottle factory where he works.
So they don't have to be canon, but they are connected.
Yeah, it's loosely
Yeah,
they're
thank you,
connected.
yes.
They didn't necessarily have to bring back the original first 2003 Hulk to continue Hulk's storyline, right?
Well, technically, if we follow the multiverse logic,
What did they do a Maestro version of Edward Norton instead of Mark Ruffalo?
that is a rumor. That is the rumor that we have been talking about on this podcast. So that definitely is on the table.
Yeah, that him and Eric Bana may return in the Secret Wars, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
But I hate to break anybody's hearts out there, but it is highly unlikely we're going to get Edward Norton's Hulk back.
Oh.
He does not have the greatest relationship with Kevin Feige or Marvel.
Yeah. He might just have his Hulk persona there.
Yeah.
Behind him.
Okay, are we ready to move on to the next question? Alrighty. This is from Kawibo. He or she asks, any new insights on the direction Spider-Man is taking after Secret Wars? Alex responds, yes, but let's not use the S word just yet.
Spider-Man and Secret Wars.
Lex, I already know you have a lot to say, so go right ahead.
I mean, I gotta go with J-Spot here. Which one was the S word? Spider-Man or Secret Wars? Because I mean, Henry, I see you're getting ready to say something. Please,
I would assume Secret Wars. He's assuming Secret Wars because that would imply that there's something to be shown in Doomsday.
Spider-Man could also be could be a reference to Sony, and maybe he knows a little something about an acquisition that can be happening. I mean, yeah, we kind of agreed that Sony would say no, but price is a price, man. How much longer can you hold out on this guy?
I mean, I gotta say, just only because I'm not sure which one the S word refers to, I don't know how to go with that question. So I'm just gonna answer both ways. If the S word is Spider-Man, I feel like that makes sense because even Tom Holland is saying, hey, I'm in control now. If they want to make another Spider-Man movie, not in this exact wording or tone, but, I got to see it. I got to run it by me. I want to make sure I want to do it, that it's good, it's worthwhile. I was with Christopher Nolan now. I'm with the Odyssey, so I'm like the best actor in the world. And if the S word is Secret Wars, my response to that would be, well, yeah, I mean, we haven't even finished Spider-Man right now, let alone Doomsday. So it's too early to talk about Secret Wars when we don't even know what direction his Spider-Man movie, Brand New Day, will take the Tom Holland Spider-Man story. And we don't even know the direction the Doomsday movie will take with Spider-Man's story. So in both cases, if it's, don't mention Spider-Man, I see the more IRL, well, Tom Holland is going to, vouch for the next movies or whatever. And if it's Secret Wars, we don't even know what these next two movies are going to do with the Spider-Man story. So wait and see.
This year.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, J-Spot, how do you feel about the question?
I maybe I'm just being the devil's advocate when it comes to the S word, but quite honestly, yeah, that's a very unique take on it. If he's maybe just playing with the crowd, S word being the secret, like, oh, shh, keep it a secret. I don't know. That's a loaded answer, but so little words. Like that's leads for speculation. I like that.
Okay, for me, I assume, and this is just me assuming, I assume the S word is secret. But in this context, I'm still trying to figure out what he means. But he says yes, but let's not use the S word just yet. So I could take this one of two ways, really. It could be about.
I'm sure you can.
It could be about Spider-Man fighting a lot of villains, like that he could be implying he's fighting a lot of wars, and one of the wars is within himself. This is the mutation. That's one way that I'm taking it. Another is, it seems far-fetched, but I assume he means like where Spider-Man is going to be after Secret Wars. but I'm not really entirely
It's gonna
sure.
be
what
at the
it means.
brand new day.
Well,
Again, where's he
this
gonna
is
be
saying
after
after
Doomsday?
yeah. So this is like a question that will be answered once
In
Doomsday
time.
really comes out. We'll have like a better answer for this. But go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, I took it as like basically sensing on where Spider-Man's going to be after, or at least after Secret Wars. But then I also would think that he's implying that, oh, like we haven't even reached Doomsday yet, so you don't. We'd have to wait and see what happens with Spider or Tom Holland Spider-Man or the other Spider-Man that we've been rumored to be in the movie already. So there's that. And then I was also thinking they haven't even discussed about the Spider-Verse movies either. That could be another possible thing too that he can possibly help in with possibly bringing Miles Morales in. Yep, it seems highly likely. I mean, he's already talking about bringing Miles into the MCU. So that's another way I was thinking about it.
Anybody have anything else to add?
I'm excited.
No? Okay, let's move on to the next
What's that?
question. Next question is from Footlong Slinky.
Pause.
That's a good name.
He asked Alex, "Hi Alex, are there plans for Tom Holland to square off against the Sinister Six?" Alex responds, "Nothing to note." So, what do you have to say about the wordsmith Alex Perez, Mr. Lex?
Again, I love his responses. It's beautiful. I want to say that he has drafts before he actually like types out like the answer and sends it, because he doesn't give away anything, and yet his answer just leaves like a feeling of like a hope, like, oh, like we'll see, like kind of like a nudge nudge wink wink kind of answer, you know. But yeah, in this case, this kind of piggybacks off of the previous question of, oh, what does the future of Spider-Man have in store? Because if Brand New Day doesn't fully introduce the Sinister Six, then perfect. That's a storyline for after Secret Wars. Just like the same thing with the Spider Hunters. Hey, what are we going to do with Spider-Man after all of these big Avenger movies? Oh, well, we could do Sinister Six. That's its own movie in and of itself. We could do Spider Hunters, own movie in and of itself. So I feel like this movie will set up, if not all of the Sinister Six, we'll get another member or two. And then, that's a post credit teaser, and we'll wait from there. J Spot, how do you feel about the possible Sinister Six setup?
I love questions that get answered with like possibility. You know what I mean? 3 words, bro. Nothing to note. Like you know something. You know what I mean? Like you have something planned. So for me, nothing to note is just sort of like, well, I mean, if you're a Spider-Man fan, that should be obvious. You know?
Okay, so for me, yes, I'm going to take this one of two ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
So I've actually I pay attention a lot to the way Alex responds to things. I've never heard him respond like this, nothing to note. Because usually if it is something, he will say something where it does leave like a little taste in your mouth, like, oh, that could possibly happen. With this one, I'm not getting that. I'm getting a brick wall. So that either tells me we're gonna get it in Secret Wars, or it's part of the X-Men saga. So I think that could be one thing. Another thing could be that it's just not in the plans right now. So
Too big of a story?
not that it's too big of a story. It's just that with Secret Wars and Doomsday going on right now, we just don't.
He's just watching you take it both ways. Just
So it's either going to be there in a future project, or it's not going to be there at all. That's the way I'm taking it. So
To me, it reads off as well, to be very obscure with it, because we kind of had a little bit of a taste, picking off of you, a little taste of it in No Way Home with somewhat of a team, the Sinister Four, I would say. So that idea is probably on the table. Just if we want to get the complete team, you probably have to add Scorpion in there and one other person. And then there you go, you complete the team. Yeah, with nothing to know, he's basically saying, "Oh, just there. It's an idea, but it's not into fruition yet because we still have these movies to focus on." So I take it that like, oh, he's like, it's there, but they're not grasping at the straw yet. We're just focusing on these movies right now.
Anything else to add, fellas?
I'm reading into it for sure then, because this is my first time actually listening to one of these Q&As. It's kind of cool. I dig it.
All right, let's move on to the next question. This one is from laser_gum. He asked, "Hey Alex, thanks for doing these as always. Which other MCU characters do you think could show up in the future Spider-Man movies, since every MCU Spider-Man movie needs to have a mainline MCU character in it?" Alex responds, "Daredevil and Defenders for sure. I'd love the Champions to pop up at some point too. Moon Knight as well."
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Of course.
Thank you.
Hey Alex, thanks for doing these as always. Which other MCU characters do you think could show up in the future Spider-Man movies, since every MCU Spider-Man movie needs to have a mainline MCU character in it?
All right, thank you. Because I wanted to double check that I heard future and not, this movie or No Way Home. I mean, A Brand New Day. Because like we discussed in the previous answer, so many characters. They wanted to add Val and the lead. Like just if they added more characters to this, yeah, it'd just be a mess. But future Spider-Man movies, I'd like to hope for the future of Spider-Man, whether it is Tom Holland continuing or, passing the torch. Maybe we get a Miles Morales or whomever. I just feel like a question like that would just be fan-made speculation or like hopes and promises. Just because if I tell you, oh my gosh, from No Way Home, I love that little cameo with Charlie Cox's Daredevil and Spider-Man. Like, I would love to see more of that, and we get to see that and everything, and et cetera, et cetera. Oh, at the end of Doomsday, Tom Holland is dead, and it's Miles Morales. And it's like, well, in the future Spider-Man movies, I wanted Daredevil and Spider-Man, but now he's dead. So I feel like if I just say my wishes, there's no real evidence behind it until we see Spider-Man's story go forth. Because I do want to see Daredevil, Deadpool, and Spider-Man all together. And I'm talking Tom Holland Spider-Man, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. Because the interactions they have in the comics are amazing. But if we get Miles Morales Spider-Man, they don't have the same interactions and the same relationships. So it's these wants and desires of having these people or these teams, or hell, even these villains, won't have the same thing. Not that you can't get a good story out of them, but I want the Spider-Man, Daredevil, Deadpool trio. Like, that's great. Again, it just feels like fan-made, speculation, like getting your toys out and just playing in the sandbox. J-Spot, how do you feel about the future of Spider-Man movies?
Well, since we're literally just scratching the surface, right? We're at the cusp of the beginning of Spider-Man. He's developed a bunch. One thing that I noted that Tom Holland, like separate from Spider-Man, said himself was the Odyssey is going to be his last young role that he has. So maybe that means there's a solid future for Spider-Man, Tom Holland, and like nice lengthy future too. You know what I mean? Especially because he's going to be hitting those older man age numbers. You know what I mean? What, he's in college now, right? His first year at MIT. Is that
In the
Empire
MCU?
Empire State University, no?
But are you saying like age-wise in the MCU?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it would be his first, or I think the movie said after one. It's either his first or second year in university.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we have that, right? And since we had that introduction of the Charlie Cox Daredevil, that'd be pretty neat. But he doesn't necessarily know. Yes, these characters have been introduced already. They're part of the universe. but doesn't mean it's going to be Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight. Doesn't mean it's going to be Charlie Cox's Daredevil. And doesn't mean we're going to get the Defenders that we know now from now. You know what I mean? So it's cool, but maybe he's just playing with the maybe it's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, especially since with the Defenders route, we're barely getting the actor who played the Luke Cage in the Defenders back in that little like Easter egg at the end of the Born Again season 2. So it's like, okay, cool. Like he's back. Obviously, Jessica Jones, he's back, but there's still no confirmed talks of the actor who played Danny Rand, Iron Fist, back too. So yeah, we could get different actors by the time. We could get different actors by the time Spider-Man has his solo movies after Secret Wars. So.
We are getting Danny Rand back, the same actor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, all of the Netflix.
Did you say Netflix?
Yeah, the Netflix Marvel characters. All of them are returning.
Take it both ways, huh?
Both of them. I mean, I know them as nut checks before, but yeah, Netflix also.
Netflix, bro.
Netflix, yeah. Netflix and chill.
Travis the Squirrel's crazy.
All right, Tim, how do you feel about the future of Spider-Man movies?
I do agree with that notion that every MCU Spider-Man movie has a mainline MCU character in it. That is true. But with Brand New Day, with it having confirmed like Scorpion, Nova, all those villains, do they necessarily count now as MCU characters moving forward?
Well, Punisher. You could say Punisher is the anchor for that question.
Is that the second time they used a series one into like a MCU movie? Where they've taken somebody from like their own series in TV shows, right? Or the TV series that they have and put them into the actual like big cinematics.
So when you say that, are you saying that they started from the shows and then they got to the movies? Or are you saying where they are already in the movies, they had a show and then they went back to the movies?
More like, are they going to pick and choose the series now? Series characters.
So according to what we've been reading, I've heard conflicting reports really, but they said like the mainline MCU characters like Scarlet Witch, like those type of characters, they're going to remain in the movies. They're not going to be really used in the shows. The shows are mainly going to be used for characters that have never been in the MCU and they could just establish their own credibility, I guess, in the shows. What do you think, Mr. Henry, about this question?
I want to see some more interactions with Daredevil and Spidey. I mean, I want to see at least them fight together. Let's hope that, they do in this Brand New Day film, because I really love to see it. Interacting even with the Defenders, that would be pretty cool. Honestly, I'd want to see Peter hang out with Luke Cage a little bit, trying to joke around. Even fight with Danny Rand, that would be pretty cool as well. And when he mentions the champions as well as Moon Knight, that would be really cool just to see a lot of the New York-based heroes like interact with one another, because they all live close together anyway. I know Moon Knight likes to move around, but it would be cool to see them argue, because I think they usually argue in the comics a lot with morality and stuff. That would be cool.
I actually didn't watch the Moon Knight series, and I get recommended it so much, man.
It's great. It's great.
I do like the whole.
One of the best shows that has came out from Marvel, for sure.
I think so too.
Do they have a Latveria or Doom reference in that show? He's driving, I think, like a coffee truck, and it says in the back of it, like, from Latveria.
I believe.
Yeah, Doom
so.
mentioned it either the last episode or the last episode.
Yeah, and I totally didn't catch that at first either. I had to go back. Yeah, so that was cool.
Looks like I have a new series to watch, man.
Yeah.
4 Spider-Man releases at least.
So I just want to give our audience some clarification really quick. I did look up who is on the Champions team, and the founding members are Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Nova, Brawn, which is Amadeus Cho, for those of you that watched Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Vision, Viv Vision, which is Vision's synthesoid daughter, Cyclops, the younger version of Scott Summers from the past, And then the later members, which could be there, is Ironheart, Wasp, Falcon, Joaquin Torres specifically, Patriot, Power Man, Dust, and the Locust, just for our audience out there.
You think that's kind of hard for them to choose which superheroes are going to get launched into the cinematic universe? You could make a bunch of series. Like I heard there wasn't a lot of good reception for Ironheart.
Yeah, so if one thing about that is I think Marvel really did a poor job with establishing like their female I don't want to call them villains or heroes, but they just did a poor job establishing them, like Ironheart specifically. Which I think that one really sucks because she has a really good story arc, especially with Mephisto. But I don't like the way they set up that character. I feel like they set her up to fail. So, does anybody else have anything different?
Especially if you have a team of writers that don't know the source material, that can really hinder at the character too. So, She-Hulk. Dude, She-Hulk was like so awesome in the comics. I don't know what happened. Like,
what do you mean? She twerked. Like,
with Megan Thee
how much
Stallion,
better-
I know, but it's just
How much
like
better can you get with that?
she's supposed to be like a female Deadpool
And
in a
it's like,
sense.
it's like doing what Jessica Jones laid the foundation for. Like
Yeah.
the service almost.
Just Jones is awesome. Love that show. Very, very emotional.
Yeah, but as our own Doom over here said so many times, if it ain't working, it ain't working. And that's what we have right here.
Bounce that ass.
Exactly.
I really hope they recast She-Hulk.
Recast.
Recast, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
To Megan Thee Stallion?
Please, Marvel, make that happen. Please, you make all of us happy.
just a whole rewatch.
And just to throw in a little drama in there, please, can we have a cameo from Klay Thompson?
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh.
Who's the real villain in this,
And that's why you're Doom.
I do not associate with Dune
That is why I'm
Corleone's vision. I do not support his
We do not condone the
His
words.
choices.
Dune Corleone's and casting of She-Hulk. So we like to apologize.
We actually got a
Marvel.
pre-release of Doomsday right now. this is all it's going to be doing, all the movie. What if? Oh, God, dude. Doomsday's just going to be one big what if.
Yes. Does anybody have anything else to add before we move on? No? Okay, this next question is about Vision Quest. And it comes from Mangalore. He asks, "Hey Alex, thanks again for doing these. Super cool of you. With Vision Quest going to Madripoor, are we likely to check in with Sharon, aka the power broker?" Alex responds, "How can you be so sure Madripoor is real?" You want to start with that one, Mr. Lex?
Huh. I wonder what direction he's going, or if he's that in the loop, what direction the MCU is going with it, because when and or what was the last time we saw Madripoor? Anyone?
The last time we saw Madripoor was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I believe we ended with us learning Sharon was the power broker.
And before that, it was what, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? Were they mentioned Madripoor?
I don't recall.
Yeah, that one I don't recall
No?
them mentioning now.
So then it was just Brave New World, correct? Yeah.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I mean, Falcon
Yeah.
and the Winter Soldier, yeah.
The show, right? The
Yeah,
series?
the series.
I heard a lot of good things about that series too.
That one, it was pretty good. It's not bad. It's not a bad show. There are some elements to it that kind of hinder it, like Captain, like U.S.
Like a
agent.
buddy cop. Aren't they like buddy cop type in the movie?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. You can say that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then, right. So back with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's our magic report. That's where we get Sharon Carter back, and we find out Sharon Carter is the broken. Okay, so that was our last time. So with that being said, I guess I'm a little curious with the answer because Falcon and the Winter Soldier was a very grounded and very realistic show in terms of everything in the MCU.
That was also one of the first shows that came out after Endgame, right?
Correct.
So
because they did introduce Val and her character and everything. But back to my point of that show was very grounded. It was very realistic in that they weren't doing any outer space or multiverse or magical hints or anything. So it kind of makes me wonder, why would we question the reality of Madripoor? Because I get if it was maybe introduced in like Shang-Chi or was the Marvels, you know, like some outer space adventure, some magical show or movie plotline. But this was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like we saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier in there meeting Sharon, going through that little chase sequence and everything. So I'm a little curious if they might do what they did with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, where we say, oh, this place that you were was Madripoor, but let's slip the rug under you. It wasn't. It was a cover, and this place is actually Madripoor. That's all I could think of, that they're just doing another Mandarin twist with it based on his response. J Spot, how do you feel?
Was the Mandarin brought back into the Wonder Man series?
yes, technically, but that's not the real Mandarin. That is just an actor in the series portraying the Mandarin.
His name's Kingsley, wasn't it?
No, that's the actor's real name.
Yeah. That's right.
And Ben Kingsley. Yeah.
It's great acting.
Amazing actor.
Nobody knows that he actually played who's that Indian famous, the glasses? No, I'm sorry, Gandhi.
He played Gandhi.
He did play Gandhi.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's an old movie, but
yeah.
I just love your description of Gandhi. Like it wasn't like, oh, like
the lawyer that became a Buddhist.
Like he's Nobel Prize winning. It was just Indian with glasses. Like that is Gandhi for sure. Like the most like peace loving.
Opposed the British.
Opposed the British. Went on hunger strikes. Nearly died so many times for his faith and conviction.
Okay, this is where I'm gonna be Doom here, and I'm gonna tell you guys that if you guys really read any Gandhi's history, he's not as symbolic as you would think. There's a lot of
I'm 100%. Like he has his demons and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, again, if you were trying to name historical figures, I wouldn't go like, oh, what was the German guy who was the painter? Oh, Hitler. Like that's I wouldn't use like that to be hit. Oh, what was the Russian guy? Beautiful mustache. Stalin. Yeah. Not the gulags.
Who's the guy with the highest kill count? Oh, Mao.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, that one guy who, he loved having like those little trench coats and everything. Unabomber. Yeah, Unabomber, of course.
Oh, man. Just
always had puppies in the backseat of his car. Bundy, yeah, oh my killer. Ted Bundy.
Love that guy. It's a great name.
Right? Like, out of all the things you could use to describe like these historical figures, Indian with glass. Oh, Gandhi. Everyone knows Gandhi. Famous
Mahatma Gandhi, bro.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Oh my goodness.
No, man. Honestly though, that's probably the greatest description of Gandhi there.
I will use that for my whole life, like if I'm playing charades or whatever. It's just Indian with glasses.
What Indian with glasses?
Mr. Henry, what do you think about that?
Yes. What about your description, Gandhi?
Yeah, you're next, Gandhi. It's your turn. Don't be a pacifist to the question.
I mean, you're pretty spot on, I gotta say.
He does have glasses.
Yeah, he has
glasses.
Oh my god.
What do you think about Mangalore's question and Alex's response?
I mean, I would like for it to be the similar situation that Lex said, where they do a rug pull. Jeez, why did I stumble with that? Rug pull with like what they did with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Because if I were to recall, the city is pretty huge and has a lot of tenacity with pirates and stuff. So I want to see more of that, kind of like their own like little tiny Wakanda in a way. Um, but yeah, I'm not all too familiar with the story itself of how Madripoor came to be in general. So I need to see it for myself.
Sure. Does anybody have anything else to add? No. Okay. The next question are going to be about X-Men and mutants. So this next question comes from Poke Harsha 5506. He asked, "Hey Alex, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it as always. What other mutant projects will we get besides the X-Men in the next saga?" Alex responds, "Black Panther 3 is one for sure." Well, Mr. Lex, what is your reaction to this question?
I mean, that's pretty cool that they're gonna tie in X-Men and Black Panther 3. I would not have seen that coming for like the next X-Men installment. I guess I would question though, because I think in the last podcast we had agreed that the Fox X-Men actors are done, right? We're not gonna get
Doomsday?
After Secret Wars, probably, yeah.
right.
At least the original X-Men.
The original Fox
Other
X-Men.
than Hugh Jackman. I
Oh,
think
obviously,
I think
yeah.
they're gonna keep him.
So Wakanda, Black Panther 3, I assume will also be coming out after Secret Wars, or maybe at the very least an in between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
The way I'm reading this, I believe it comes after Secret Wars.
Okay, so perfect. So then back to my point of all of these actors and actresses, these characters that we know, they're gonna be gone, right? So they're gonna be long gone and everything. We still don't know how they're gonna reboot the X-Men in MCU then, right? Because are we going with like everyone is gonna be them but younger, like how we're saying that Sadie Sink is gonna be the young Jean, thank you, the young Jean Grey. Are we gonna get a young Scott Summers? Are we gonna get a young Aurora? Are we gonna get a young Hank McCoy? You know, like are we just doing young X-Men again, or are we gonna pull an established X-Men team from the multiverse, and that's gonna be the MCU's X-Men? That is my question to you guys before I move on with my point. So
Well, so the whole thing what they're doing with mutants, since they didn't have first like mutants because of Fox, they had enhanced humans, right? So now with all the incursions happening and Doomsday being that pretty much reset with Secret Wars, maybe we're getting a fresh dose of mutants with Black Panther 3, you know? Like because what's Wakanda's goal going to be? Probably to provide safe haven for mutants. You know, work with Magneto. What's the spot he has? Krakoa?
you mean Genosha?
Is that what it is? The mutant
the island, the mutant island, yeah.
In Genosha.
But I guess not necessarily like storyline wise, just not necessarily storyline wise, but my question is more: are we gonna get in the 616, like in the established universe? Oh, there was always a young Jean Grey who is Sadie Sink. Oh, there was always a young Scott Summers who is, you know, XYZ. Oh, there was always a young Aurora and blah, blah. Like, have they always been there and they're just, you know, their younger selves? Or are they gonna pull someone after Doomsday and after Secret Wars? Oh, we already had X-Men from Earth, you know, 5, 6, 7, and they're just here in the MCU. Kind of like with Fantastic Four, where we don't have the Fantastic Four in the MCU, we pulled them from the movie. So that's my first question before I go on. And I'm asking you guys, like, is it everyone's going to be there and they're just coming out of the woodworks, or are we pulling an established X-Men team?
Kind of like what they did with Deadpool versus Wolverine, where like
They just brought in Wolverine and now he's there.
there.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's my question. Like, are they just bringing in the X-Men and, oh, this is our X-Men? or oh, they were always there, they're just kids, and now they're grown up.
Incursions could possibly solve a lot of the issues that we have with like the MCU right now.
100%. That's why I'm asking, where do you guys think this is gonna go? That they were always there, and now, oh, I'm old enough to be, Cyclops and Storm and whatever, or we just pull them.
Was the last X-Men movie, well, technically, Deadpool versus Wolverine? What was it? The New Mutants?
That was
The
that.
horror one?
Yeah.
The horror one?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
That was the last one.
Yeah.
Because New Mutants came out.
Or Dark Phoenix, wasn't it?
I thought New Mutants came out after Dark Phoenix.
Oh,
I'm asking. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure New Mutants was after Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. So again, there's so many variations of mutants now. Like how are we gonna get them? That's a phenomenal question, man.
Yeah.
So Dark Phoenix came before the New Mutants.
Yeah. So
the New Mutants is after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's the latest mutant movie.
Mhm.
Well, then, Doom and Henry, how do you feel like we're gonna get our X-Men?
So for me, again, it'll go 1 to 2 8.
Same little daddy.
So it could be like this could be happening in Brand New Day as well, where the mutants, they were always there, but their X gene never solidified. Or like in this case, if this is to be true, Jean Grey's X gene solidified in Brand New Day. So that could possibly happen. Or we could get what you were implying, which is we get mutants from other universes, maybe dying universes. Their universe is dead, so they hop over to 616, and then when the whole Battle World thing happens and the universe comes back, then they are they're put into our 616 universe. So I think 1 of 2 ways that could happen. But what about you, Mr. Henry?
Before you go on, I just want to say for the viewers and listeners at home, I just noticed you're just wearing a wife beater.
Yeah.
Like I just noticed right now.
It would be a wife beater if there were ribs. It's actually just a compression shirt.
Well, I mean, he puts the ribs, like his muscles and his abs.
Actually,
ripped it up.
It's actually a 32 degrees sweater. I mean, sweater. Freaking tank top.
What are we sponsored?
Sponsors.
All right.
Are you sponsored? We have a sponsor? You gotta say it out loud.
And life is a breeze when you have 32 degrees. Get that loud. And now a word from our sponsors. Live life and be free with 32 degrees. Work out with ease with 32 degrees.
We better get a sponsor.
Go ahead.
But I would have initially thought that they would be pulling some people from the other universes together into the MCU, but then I also forgot, and I just realized that no one brought this up either. In the Miss Marvel show, in the end, they discovered that Kamala had the X gene in her, so they're unveiling that there's already mutants involved, but that they called her the first mutant sighting, I should say.
I think that was more of a racist remark than the actual gene.
I mean, yes, if you look back in the comics.
If you look back,
I know. That's a whole big thing. But yeah, so there is already implication that mutants are existing. They just haven't, like how you said, Doom, that it hasn't mutated in the X gene hasn't mutated yet. Or I believe in the comics it happens when they hit puberty. So like
correct.
It's when that happens, like as we've seen with this mysterious character, Brand New Day, who we believe is Jean Grey, it's possible that it activates, and that's when everything you see that big repulsion go around the city. It's going out of control because it just got unveiled for the first time. So it could be a whole not cataclysmic, I should say, but a lot of big occurrences of powers activating when they hit the mutagen gene. And we just see a whole bunch of like chaos happening, possibly. Yeah, I mean, there's some
another reason for Doctor Doom to step in and show how incursions have been a big issue at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think my main reason for you guys, like your opinion in trying to establish this, is because yes, with the Miss Marvel show, we have, you're the first mutant and something in your DNA. With this possible Sadie Sink being Jean Grey, okay, here's another mutant who has the X gene in her DNA. But then with the Marvel's movie, the post-credit scene, we see her go to whatever world or dimension, and we have the X-Men there established, especially with, I just had his name and I cannot remember Fraser. Why can I remember Fraser? What's his name? The actor, Fraser.
Brendan?
Brendan Fraser?
No, from the show Fraser.
Oh God.
Oh,
Beast. What's Beast's name? My goodness gracious. And I love his voice. Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. Grammer, Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah.
Screw you guys. I'm faster than Google. And, that's
You're right
that
there with
too.
it. Hey,
You're
we
his
got
biggest
you.
fan. You should have known.
Yeah, I don't know why, I had his name too, but as soon as I started talking about Beast, my brain hit Hank McCoy, and I could not go
Oh,
past Hank McCoy. But anyways,
There's only one beast.
exactly, and that's you, baby.
No, it's not it. J-Spot.
Woo!
Remember that. I'm just kidding.
Always hit every time.
Thank you.
But yeah, so the reason why I wanted your opinion is because we have Kelsey Grammer's Beast established. We see that the main MCU hits this universe of, whatever, XYZ. So now I'm unsure if the new X-Men, right? I'm just going to call it that from this point forward. The new X-Men after Secret Wars, will it be everyone was there with the X gene, it just didn't manifest or didn't activate until the events of Brand New Day? Or are we going to pull out, this whole team from, Universe XYZ into this? Or, and the reason why I wanted your opinions is I feel like one of the easiest things the MCU can do is cherry pick these people where, we'll get Sadie Sink as the new Jean Grey, and we'll get Kelsey Grammer from, Universe XYZ as the Beast. So it's going to be like this amalgam of both. These mutants always existed, but, Aurora, like, what's up?
In hiding, maybe? Like, they know how
not in
dangerous they are?
hiding, just like how Henry was saying, like the mutant gene didn't activate until now.
So all like maybe the pre-tots of X-Men are now hitting that age at the same time.
They're heading that age at the same time.
Or they're actually mutated late.
Like Peter Parker's.
Peter Parker's a different.
Basically,
Yeah.
just the timeline of them hitting puberty or not isn't an issue for me. Like, forget whether, okay, they just turned, 12, 13, 14, or maybe there was a delay in their mutation. Like, just, I don't care about the semantics right now. My main thing is just, are we going to get like this hodgepodge of, Kelsey Grammer as Beast, right? He's like that for Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. Like, I can't think of another Beast. And I'm asking you guys, like, I love his Beast, Kelsey Grammer's voice alone is just amazing, whatever. So let's get him as Beast, and it's easy to get him because we'll CGI him. Or Sadie Sink, like, what's her face from Dark Phoenix, the actress who played Jean Grey?
Oh, for Game of Thrones?
From Game of Thrones, yeah. She doesn't want to do it anymore. Fine, good for her. We'll get Sadie Sink. But then we'll get, let's say, the guy who plays Scott Summers. What's his name from Sonic? The actor name?
James Marsden?
Is that his name? The Fox X-Men?
Yeah, James Marsden.
James Marsden. Oh my gosh, I love him as Cyclops. I can't think of any other Cyclops. Let's keep him as Cyclops and say he's from a different universe, not the Fox universe, So I feel like the easiest thing for the MCU is just cherry pick. Just say, who wants to reprise their roles? Oh, Kelsey Grammer, Marston. Oh yeah, we love them as Cyclops and Beast. We'll get that. Oh, what's her face? Game of Thrones doesn't want to do Jean Grey. I'll say they Sink. So just pick and choose the best out of all of them, and then you get your X-Men team. And the reason why I say that is because if you're gonna have the X-Men featured in Wakanda, and this is finally circling back to the Q&A with Alex, I think it'd be great because with the Wakanda front, the easiest, and albeit slightly racist, but the easiest thing that you can do is Aurora Storm. She was one of the Wakandans who X gene just activated right there. Easiest way to introduce Black Panther 3 and the X-Men. Why? Because we never heard of this Omega level mutant until Storm. Because Storm is one of the OG X-Men who, in and of herself, has Omega level powers. Jean Grey, yeah, sure, she's Omega level, but with Dark Phoenix. And, we're not going to introduce Dark Phoenix. Like, there's so many plot lines where just right off the bat, Storm is Omega level, just in and of herself. And what a better way to get the Wakandans and everything involved is, Storm is one of the Wakandans. And her mutation just hit right now with Brand New Day. And that's why the X-Men had to come in and whatever. That's why it's like, if everyone is just getting their mutations right now, nobody knows about Omega levels. Nobody knows the science of the X gene and whatever. But if you cherry pick and you say, let's get Kelsey Grammer and let's get, I forgot his name.
James Marsden.
Marsden. If you get Marsden and Grammer, their experience, they know the X gene and they know Omega level. That's why it's so important that we all converge here to Wakanda. Because, oh my gosh, Aurora is going out of control. She doesn't know how to control her powers. Hey, let's get together. Oh, hey, you Wakandans, you're chill. We're actually being hunted and persecuted. Can you be our Genosha while we establish the X gene and in your world say, okay, this is the X gene. You guys have the technology to basically do Cerebro, like the Wakandan version of Cerebro. And okay, here where you have the technology to help to find and locate, this will be the haven. And that is my roundabout answer to this question of why.
But that does bring me back to Brand New Day. Where did Bruce Banner get his?
He built it.
Okay.
He built it.
Yeah, he built it to repress the mutating DNA.
That's cool.
But it could be he built it with the help of the Wakandans, which then go, Wakandans can help with mutant DNA or mutating DNA. Oh shoot, well we have this chick Aurora, and she's acting crazy. We don't know why. Oh, it's her DNA. And like I said, like these veteran X-Men from other universes like Beast and whatever. Oh, we know what that is. It's just we don't have the technology. Oh, Wakandans, you have the technology. Oh, perfect. Yeah, so that's my answer, everyone. How'd you like that long walk trip?
As we can.
One thing I do want to answer in that question though is this question trying to tell us that Storm is possibly dating T'Challa? Because
he's dead.
Well, he's dead currently in the MCU, but when we get to these movies, we're going to get a new universe or a new rebooted universe. And in the comics, she does have a relationship with T'Challa.
Ryan Gosling as Black Panther.
Jesus.
If you watched our last episode, we had a whole skit about Ryan Gosling playing every character.
Too many clips wants Ryan Gosling as the new Black Panther.
We got to show you that clip.
Jesus.
Henry, don't you want Ryan Gosling as the new Black Panther?
I was literally going to mention the whole thing about Storm and T'Challa, but you took it out of my mouth, so damn.
Put something back in there.
Exactly.
But yeah, I do like that idea about them, the Wakandans bringing them in to harbor them safe, because that would make sense if all their mutant genes start to activate and then they get hunted and or shunned by normal society. They're going to have to go somewhere, right? So it will make sense to me, at least. And then also, I do like the idea of them bringing Kelsey Grammer's Beast as well as James Marsden's Scott Summers involved, because it would make sense with how I think they were theorizing that Scott Summers might be the lead of the New Mutants movie. So it would make sense, because he's the leader type for the X-Men in general. And we haven't seen a lot of James Marsden in a long time, so I want to see him back.
Sonics?
I know Sonic. I know, but I'm talking about him as Cyclops. Yeah. It's been so long since he got vaporized in X-Men 3.
Dark Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, this is
not Dark Phoenix. Last Stand.
Yeah, Last Stand. Yeah,
a different universe. Scott Summers for sure.
I was totally against them killing Cyclops, by the way.
I know, me too. That was crazy.
But did you see how beautiful
it as an emotional.
How beautiful it was to watch Hugh Jackman Wolverine just. I love you, Tesh, bro. That's such a way to end the movie too.
He's gonna do this till he's 90.
Yeah, he is. Shirt just an element.
It's believable.
All right, are we ready for this next question? It's pretty juicy.
Well, I don't think we got your opinion.
Yeah.
No, you do.
Yeah, I just answered it.
He did.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Let me rewind that back for a second.
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
We'll be
Okay.
back to you.
No, I was telling you about Storm and T'Challa.
Oh, but like
Yeah.
we kind of went off track with the whole like, oh, they're dead and whatever. Like I thought you had more to finish.
Oh
with
no,
that
no, no.
one.
That was the point I was making.
You just want to start with Shaw.
No, well, I'm assuming that after Secret Wars, Storm and T'Challa are gonna be together.
Yeah.
So that's my theory.
I also want to see Ryan Gosling with whoever Storm is. That is correct.
Next question by Good Soup.
Good to
He asked, "Hey Alex, hope you're doing well. Do you know what actors are being approached to play Bobby Drake? I know people like Odessa A. Zion have been connected to Rogue." Alex responds, "No."
All right.
Let's start with you, Mr. Lex. What is your response to Alex's response?
Well, I gotta admit, I love his one-word answer again. I love his one-word answer, very elegant to the point. I mean, such a silver-tongued devil. Well, I guess he's not speaking. Such a silver keyboard devil. I feel like this just goes back to what I said with the new X-Men after Secret Wars. Is it everyone, who's gonna be cast as the X-Men were always there and they just got their powers? Or are they gonna pull what's his face, the actor from the Fox X-Men to be Bobby again, the Iceman? I personally don't think I have a fan cast for like a young Iceman, young Bob Drake, but I'm definitely excited to see him because I would love if the MCU goes down this route with Omega level mutants. I would love to see the MCU just give Bobby his Omega level status, not right off the bat, but just tell him like, oh, dude, like you can reach absolute zero. Like you are a threat. You're not just like hey, my beer's cold, like can you freeze it up really quick? Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if Bobby will be plugged from a different universe or if he was always there. Would love to see him. And more specifically, I just want Iceman to get his Omega level status in the MCU because how the comics did it was awesome. And I can't wait for that.
You talking about Sean Ashmore, the original Iceman? You want him to have his moment, or you want the new Iceman?
I would love if they are gonna do that, where they cherry pick Kelsey Grammer and then Ashmore, right? You said
Sean Ashmore.
Sean Ashmore. If they do the cherry picking, I would love for him to have his moment because it's not that he was. I personally don't feel he was lame in any of the X-Men movies, right? Like, did you think he was not underused? He was underused. I'm saying lame. Did you think he was a lame?
Okay, so you also have to like kind of play into part. I mean, if they destroy Fox Universe and say, right,
Yeah,
so
so
you
completely
destroy Iceman, what you get from Age of Apocalypse is
It's
supposed to be
also
these
cool.
like you get this big version of each character. Like the most just beast versions of who they are. You know what I mean? Like fighting this god level entity, Apocalypse. So
Yeah.
maybe what we saw in Days of Future Past was the best version of Iceman we're going to get for this universe, from him at least. Maybe a new, like a fresh wash of New Mutants. I mean, not the New Mutants that we got, but like Charles Xavier's mutants. Who are we going to get from him? And is there another Charles Xavier out there?
Yeah.
Are they going to still use James McAvoy? There's a lot that goes into that.
Okay. I'm gonna go really right with this one. I think there's only one person that deserves to play Iceman. He just went by Iceman this year.
Drake.
Stupid. Oh my god, that's stupid.
I'll see Drake as my Iceman.
Absolutely. Totally, dog.
No, but on a serious note, it should be Sean Ashmore. It should be.
So even better than like if they cherry pick him and he comes back, I want him, as you said, to have his moment and be like, I'm Omega level, bitches. It's like, I want like Wolverine to be like, yo, can you freeze my beer again? It's like, I could freeze your world, bro. Like, get off my sack.
Are we getting a Phoenix Force Cyclops though? In Doomsday?
I mean, that's a different question.
I know.
Yeah.
That's also something I've been theorizing, but we'll save that topic for another time.
But yeah, so my answer with this one is I want Bobby, whether it's the OG actor, whether it's a new actor, I just want Bobby to get his Omega level treatment.
Is it because you like the Iceman character?
I like. Okay, this is gonna be super nerdy, but I'm a DC guy. I like DC more than Marvel, and I like how with the Flash, one of his rogues is Captain Cold. And the argument here is, oh my gosh, how can Captain Cold be, the Flash? And one of the most famous moments with Captain Cold and the Reverse Flash is that the Reverse Flash is taunting him, saying like, "Oh, I don't know how the Flash has so much trouble with you. You're just a punk with like a cold gun."
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Cold says something to the effect of, "This isn't a cold gun. Like Mr. Freeze has a cold gun, or like whoever has a cold gun. This is like a freeze gun. This is an absolute zero gun. It stops particles in its tracks." And he freezes Reverse Flash's leg and breaks it off. And like he tells like the Reverse Flash, like, that's why I give Barry this trouble. Like, this stops molecules in its spot. This is absolute zero in a gun. So going back to with Iceman, when the writers finally said, well, if you freeze things, they're frozen. And if you stop molecules in their tracks, you stop all of physics. Like, I think one of the base equations in physics, like of the world, the variable is temperature. So if you get rid of temperature or absolute zero it, that's it. The foundation of, physics is gone. And that's why I like that Iceman got the Omega level treatment. Because in DC, you have Captain Cole, and Captain Cole explained, hey, that's why I could beat the Flash. Because this isn't just like a little popsicle gun. This is absolute zero gun. So it's more not because I like Iceman so much, but because in the Flash they explain why it's a threat, and here in Marvel, okay, let's go with that too.
Ooh, I really like that response.
Yeah, and of course, seeing Captain Cold freeze off a Reverse Flash's leg and break it into pieces was like, oh shoot, like, dang.
Oh, that'd be cool to watch him kind of get in some trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That's
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
when you explain it in the nerdy physics sense, and you're like, oh shoot, like that's why it works with the Flash, and then you apply it to Iceman, like, oh shoot, like that's why he's Omega level, like let's go. Okay. But yeah, J Spot, how do you feel about the new Iceman or his potential?
I don't know, man. I was a fan of his like Casanova type personality that he brought to the table with was it Kitty Pryde? Or was it with Rogue in the first one when he creates the rose on the table, right? Mm-hmm. So he's always been that that ice to fire, So it's for me personally, just watching him go through as that type of character, that maybe growing up, that was like the first cool guy that I saw. So I don't know, anything to do with him,
literally cool.
Yeah, cool.
He was pretty chill.
Yeah, because then you get Pyro. Yeah, he's so some might say he was like a cup of ice.
Oh, tall glass of ice.
Jesus, there's no water, just ice. Yeah, I'm a fan of what they do with him. I mean, just from that explanation alone, absolutely.
Okay. Doom, how do you feel about the future of this Iceman?
Like I said, I want Shawn Ashmore to really get his due. I did like him in the first X-Men movie. I thought he was underused in the second one. And I thought they did him somewhat justice in Days of Future Past. I just didn't like the way he went out. I wish it would have been.
What? He was basically like reaching his Omega level in Days of Future Past. Especially in the road cut where they showed how he was like.
I just thought if he was that Omega level, they didn't really show that on screen. like, yeah, I would have liked to seen a little bit more from that perspective. But let's go with Mr. Henry over here. What do you think about this new Iceman?
I'm glad he shared the same sentiment that he got done dirty in Days of Future Past. So
Thank you.
yeah,
You.
yeah.
The
I
road
mean,
cut though, the road cut, not the theatrical cut. In the road cut, he was like a beast though.
I'm not familiar with the road cut actually.
I
So
actually haven't seen the road cut.
You guys haven't seen
I
it?
have
no,
no. I got it.
You guys never saw like the extended cut or the director? Yeah, there's another one
Of Days?
of Days of Future Past.
Well,
So there was
I gotta
the
check that out.
theatrical one, but then
Yeah.
they did the road cut, which showed more of the fighting and the crazy sentinels or whatever.
Okay.
And that one, he did show more of it. I mean, he wasn't Omega level, but they did show like, oh, like this
Yeah.
is what I could do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to watch that.
But yeah, I share the same thing where I want to see Sean get his due with Bobby and Iceman in general, where he has his moment where he can show that off. Because if there's very few Omega levels, you gotta show that. You gotta show that potential. We saw many times with Storm, I believe, in the past X-Men movies with Halle Berry. So I mean, why not see it with Bobby too? I mean, he can. Who knows? He can cause a snowstorm, or hey, they can combine powers. You never know. Shit, freeze either Doom or I don't know whoever he's gonna face up against.
Hey,
Just freeze him
Storm,
in
you need
place.
help causing a snowstorm? Like, you're already halfway there with your name. So I could help you, Storm. Yeah, snow. Storm, you need help with the weather?
I can only help you in cold parts.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
Bring up
yes, I agree with that. We should see that Omega level moment happen at least, if it's either with Sean or if it's with a new Iceman. I mean, gotta see it.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else to add?
Drake the Snake as Iceman.
Okay.
Shouts out Drake.
Okay, we're gonna do 2 more questions on this Q&A, only because I did skim through some of the other questions and Alex gives us 1-word answers.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna pick out the ones that are pretty interesting. So let's start with this one from Starbreak. Is there any truth to rumors that Marvel is looking at Anne Hathaway for X-Men? And if so, do you know what role? Alex Perez answers, not that I've heard of.
Anne Hathaway. I was going to say Catwoman, but that's Batman. Catwoman, I guess. Just
I
reprise
had
her role.
Catwoman again. I don't mind that. Yeah, Black Cat. She has the
What role?
Zornman.
What role realistically could she play in X-Men? I'm really trying to think.
Madam Web.
No, X-Men.
No,
specifically.
X-Men,
Oh,
X-Men.
X-Men specifically?
I mean, if they're gonna do the cherry picking, and I guess if you don't mind, Doom, I'll take this as my answer to the question. Yeah, if they're gonna do that cherry picking idea of, oh, we'll get some of the veteran actors and new actors, whatever, I wouldn't mind seeing her as I want to say her last name is Pryor, but Kitty Pryor, right?
Yeah, she's the invisible one.
The one that can go through the walls.
Yeah.
The one that I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
also can hold you in a different
I
spot.
want her to hold me in every spot. Yeah, exactly.
Careful, man. You might get frozen.
I don't mind, man.
See,
But it is Pryor, right? Kitty Pryor. That's her name.
yeah, that's
Kitty,
yeah.
is it Kitty or
Okay.
Kitty?
That's
No, Kitty.
Kitty.
Like cat. Kitty.
Kitty.
Was that the role played by well, now it's Elliot Page?
Elliot Page, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Elliot
right.
Mhm.
Oh, dude. Does he reprise his role?
Ooh, that would be sick. A gender swap, just because like of all the controversy it's going to cause. Actually, since we're on the spot of Elliot Page,
Speaking of
and controversy,
whoa.
I mean, this is gonna be fun and juicy. How do you guys feel about? And I checked this last night with my little brother, and Elliot is still unlisted, but supposedly Elliot Page is gonna be Achilles in the Odyssey.
So a lot of people are talking
I've
that
heard
that might be, oh yeah, that
I've
might be
heard
the
different.
opposite. Mhm.
Go ahead.
Like a young commander or something like that.
I don't mind Elliot being like a commander or whatever, blah, 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 but specifically Achilles. If Elliot Page is Achilles.
Can I take this first?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me first start out by saying this. That I have respect for all members of LGBTQ. I'm sorry, I don't remember the letters, but I have respect for all of them. I respect all the lifestyle that they choose to live and all that. But when it comes back to this casting, I hate to be that guy, but I am one of those that I was not particularly a fan of that casting. Initially, didn't even want to see the movie after I heard that he was casted for that role. And it's not necessarily to do with the fact that he transitioned. It was more the fact that the last Achilles we got was Brad Pitt and Troy.
Mm.
And that was a hell of a role, a hell of a job that he did. I just don't see how she could even step into those shoes. And it, like I said, it really has nothing to do with
Samus.
it really has nothing to do with the transition. It has more of how can you really live up to that role? That is some big shoes to fill. That's my take on it. I don't know who else wants to go next.
I've heard that he plays the role of Elpenor. So if anything, is the youngest crew member of the ship.
Which would make more sense.
Yeah, it would make more sense
100% more sense.
if you even see in the trailer, you see because once, well, I don't know if anyone knows the story. Should I put a spoiler warning?
Of the Odyssey,
Of the Odyssey?
the story that's been out for years.
hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Please don't ruin it.
Oh, spoiler warning to all of our listeners out there.
This
We are
scene is
going
in the
to tell
trailer.
the
The scene is in the
Odyssey.
trailer, so I'm just gonna put it out there. The scene is in the trailer, but it is a spoiler. You see Elliot Page's character all disheveled and dirty in what was known as hell, or like the afterlife in this movie. So, spoiler alert: some of the crew perish. Elpenor is one of them. But he was talking to some character off screen, giving a warning. So, to me, that didn't seem like very Achilles-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be after the heel got
Achilles
hit.
yet. Yes, Achilles is dead in that part of the
Yeah.
story because there's a warrior from way back then.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that didn't seem like it would be Achilles in that moment. So the whole theory of him playing Elpenor would make sense to me, and that's why I feel that
Someone also said possibly Hermes.
Hermes.
Ooh.
That could make sense too.
But then again, maybe you're just throwing Elliot Page on the trailer because you're trying to bring in, people to watch
Yes.
movies too. Because is that his first role in a while as Elliot Page?
No, Elliot Page did another movie.
The Umbrella Academy.
Oh,
Yeah, that show.
Oh, I thought specifically movies.
Oh,
yeah, like big, where everyone's
yeah, he's been in other movies too.
sure.
Yeah.
I know that.
They're not very big movies, but
Movies nonetheless.
Nonetheless,
Hey, congratulations landing the Odyssey. So
I know.
hopefully
that is
hopefully it's not Achilles.
Christopher Nolan movie is a pretty big.
That's rude, right?
Wait, what
Hopefully it's
movie
not
did you say?
Achilles. So, Odyssey.
Odyssey, these no.
Both of them. Both of them.
But yeah, it's just like, again, Elpenor, cool. Even Hermes, I wouldn't mind that being his role. But I have to agree with Dune. Our last Achilles, just an Adonis of a man. I mean, are you putting up pictures of...
No.
Okay.
Side notes.
Side notes, yeah.
What notes?
So, just an Adonis of a man, and it's just... How do you feel those sandals? Right?
Tyler Durden. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, this is the man's man, bro. Like you put him in any movie, and you immediately know it's like who you fucking go to. Bullet Train. I don't know if you guys have.
Oh, amazing movie, hilarious movie.
So something like that. I mean, you're feeling this fan, yeah.
I mean,
and another Brad Pitt movie.
Just Fight Club. Just yeah.
We don't talk about that though.
Another one. But yeah, the issue isn't with Elliot Page, his lifestyle, his beliefs, his
it's the casting of the possible Achilles. Yeah,
it's just you need an Adonis of a man. You need a J-spot of a man to be Achilles.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm just saying.
It makes me feel so good.
And then the worst part is that even your Theos are just like,
But it just sound like Seth Green there. Like,
oh god,
like Chris Griffin.
What? Bring that back, maybe.
Don't you take her from me.
It's not my dad.
Go back to sleep.
Go back to sleep there. Oh shit. That was
Oh,
a
man.
wild side tangent we just did there.
Oh shit.
That was
Anne
great.
Hathaway from the X.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well, right?
so
Back
That's
to
a
that.
wild ass tangent.
but it was a great tangent.
It was.
nonetheless. But yes, back to where I can see Anne Hathaway in the X-Men is, again, if we're cherry picking, I would love to see her as Kitty Pryde.
Like an older Kitty Pryde?
Pride.
Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde?
Oh, is it Pride or Pryor?
Kitty Pryde.
Pride, okay.
Oh.
Kitty Pryde.
Honestly, you guys know Wes Anderson?
Mhm.
The director,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was a Wes Anderson movie, maybe even Jean Grey. I don't know that. But only as a Wes Anderson casting.
What have we seen?
I don't know.
her as a
They've done
director?
that before, I think. They've done like a if Wes Anderson directed X-Men and they released some like off-kilter characters for each character. But yeah, I would see her in that. I just don't see her as an X-Men universe person.
Me, I
Or-
actually, and Henry actually agrees with me. I actually want to see her as Emma Frost.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. I like that
As soon as you looked
nod.
suck my
When it comes to Marvel, we don't relate to that.
Jesus.
No, repeat that again, Henry. As soon as what?
Our minds are connected.
Oh yeah, no. Like you have that psychic Emma Frost connection too.
He's like, as soon as I take my hand off his knee, she knows exactly.
I know whose hand that is every
He
time.
knows.
In every universe, I know whose hand that is.
But we haven't seen Emma Frost since what? First class?
First Class.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we have.
Was
Or
they have her
sorry, and Origins. Too.
Yeah.
My mistake. On Origins as
And they
well.
were escaping,
That's a younger,
right?
it's a younger Emma Frost.
She was
Yeah, she
an
was.
origin.
She was the. Yeah,
Oh.
she's the sister.
Has
of
there ever been a blonde Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway hasn't been in Marvel.
No, a blonde Anne
We've
Hathaway.
we
Is Emma
had
Frost is blonde, no?
Yeah, she is.
she was blonde in what was it?
Right?
It's wigs, but
I don't
Right?
think she's been a blonde.
I don't think
No,
she's
didn't she wear a wig in the Princess Diaries?
No.
No, like her main character, she was her natural hair, but in one of the movies, didn't she put like on a wig?
She may have, but I don't
know.
remember.
Bro. I don't think she's ever been blonde.
So while we're doing the research of that,
this is the interesting part of this question.
so while we're doing the research,
I had to look it up to see if she's ever been blonde, and apparently in like 3 sightings, which is the 2013 Met Gala, this film called Eileen, which is a psychological thriller in 2023, and then Mother Mary in 2026.
and how is she as a blonde?
Let's see.
Have you heard of those movies?
Ooh.
Multiple various
sorry.
styles.
That's interesting.
Multiple various styles, I'd say. So
It's an interesting look for
Yeah.
her, for sure.
she could pull it off.
Yeah.
As
Emma Frost?
Emma Frost, yeah.
Actually, I like her as a villain too.
Yes.
Yeah,
She
because I
plays-
like the way
So
she played
Emma
Catwoman.
Frost.
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
played a good Catwoman.
She
I mean,
did.
that's
Oh, she
that's a
played
femme
an
fatale
amazing
character. Emma Frost is a
Catwoman.
femme fatale character. So
Yeah, Catwoman.
All
Her,
right.
yeah,
let's
makes
get
sense.
to this last question. On Cosmic.
Catwoman. Yeah.
It's from Leviathan,
Ooh.
and he asked, "What's the plan for the cosmic section of the MCU? Now we know they currently have the primary characters being the Marvels, the Fantastic Four, and Guardians of the Galaxy. But who would you say the pillars of Marvel's cosmic side will be in the next 5 to 10 years?" Alex Perez answers, "Nova for sure is one. Star-Lord will be another. Shi'ar and Eternals."
I was going to say that's pretty cool. But the Eternals?
Start with you, Mr. Lex.
I hate that he mentioned the Eternals because I was gonna say that as like my joke answer
Oh, no.
because of how the movie. I mean, because of how the movie did. Like, I was gonna be like, okay, there's no way in hell he's gonna
I
mention the
thought it was a
Eternals.
great movie.
I thought it was a cool movie
I
too,
thought it was a great movie. man.
but obviously it
So
didn't get the response that we thought it would get. But I was gonna say the Eternals as a joke. If he's being serious about it, because obviously Nova for sure, and we get Nova Corps and everything, and
Ooh, wait. What if the Nova and Star-Lord, he couldn't keep them separated because she just didn't know, and that becomes his adaptation into the Star Force?
My only question really on this is first Star-Lord. The last time we left him was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He was living at his grandparents' house.
Mhm.
And we haven't heard from him since, like at all. So, not sure about Star-Lord because we don't even know what he's up to. Nova is interesting. The only thing with Nova is we haven't met him yet. We're supposedly supposed to meet him in Brand New Day. So we'll get that answer once Brand New Day comes out, which is at the end of the month. Now, remind me, because I'm getting a blank here. Who is Shi'ar again? Does anybody remember?
I believe we haven't been introduced to the Shi'ar yet either. I looked it up because I'm not familiar with it as well, but I decided to look it up, and it seems to be a militaristic alien or empire that's in, so we haven't been introduced to these people yet. They're avian descended humanoid alien species that rule the vast Shi'ar empire in Marvel.
That's isn't that the X-Men, the Professor X? No, who he went to go with
that's
the
who?
the Queen, the bird people.
Yeah.
In X-Men '97, who Charles Xavier pretended to fake his death and be with the bird people.
That's the Shi'ar?
I am 90% sure Henry is looking it up. But yes, it's where Xavier gets with the Queen and he, gets all busy and he starts laying some eggs.
Because they're bird people.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Deathbird?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, cool. I was right. Woo!
Yo,
Yo.
That's
That's
shut up.
that is
That's-
that will be very interesting.
Oh, okay.
If they brought that expert.
Okay, it's clicking.
Yeah, it is clicking because when you were saying that, I was gonna make a joke of like, oh well, I know She-Ra, like yeah, but
My only thing though with Eternals
Oh,
is that since it
Mm.
performed, I mean,
She-Ra.
I'm kind of with you, J Spot, where Eternals, it actually wasn't a bad movie. I don't think it was bad at all.
No.
Much, man. I really
I
did.
just think the timing of it coming out was not ideal, especially because this is when Marvel was trying to find its footing after Endgame, and they tried to introduce all these new characters, and they thought these characters would stick, and unfortunately, they did not. So, as far as the Eternals goes, that's interesting that Alex even mentioned them, but I don't think that's gonna go over really well with not with the normies or not with the people that actually watch the movies religiously, but with the normies, I see this as being very negative.
Bro, honestly, if they were, I wouldn't even be mad if they said that the Eternals don't even exist as part of Earth 616, 848, so on and so forth, that they are their standalone entities, that they're just part of a different cosmic world and entity of existence and all of that. You know, where Selma Hayek's character, she's inside that chamber and everyone's all like pretty much brainwashed as a motherfucker. Sorry, excuse my language.
I mean, I was brainwashed when I saw her too.
So fine.
Weren't we all?
Honestly,
No.
man. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is like, that's why I liked Eternal so much because it felt like it was a standalone. You could put that movie out and call it Eternals, 2, and it'll still do good for me. I think. I mean, maybe it's just more for that type of fan.
Also, just a side note, Angelina Jolie was very underused.
Yes, she was.
Mm-hmm.
Poor baby.
But
Yeah.
go ahead, Mr. Henry. What do you think
Too
about this
expensive,
question?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I had
Going
it, I
off
would
of that, though, they
overuse it.
kind of left out the whole plot line with the Black Knight possibly coming into fruition too. So
Oh, Jon Snow, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, "Ooh, you're gonna introduce him as a Black Knight? That's so cool!" And nothing.
You remember the guy who
Nothing.
played Jon Snow?
Yeah, he's the boyfriend.
Yeah, and then you bring in Blade too and everything with that.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, "Oh, they're gonna bring in Dracula too, maybe."
Mhm.
Who knows? I would love to see Nova for sure. That's one of the ones I thought they would have introduced earlier in the Phase 5 stuff, but who knows what. But if we're gonna see Nova soon, I'm all for it. Star Lord, I can see him honestly being like a, what do they call, like a person who travels around a lot, because obviously he's on his own now, so he can join any team or he can help out with any team he wants.
That's why I'm
honestly.
thinking maybe he joins the Nova Corps
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
because he is a technically half god, right? So
Yeah.
half planet, man.
Mhm.
If like it's half planet, half a planet. Yeah. Oh, my dad's a what?
And I think to go for your point, as much as we would want it to be a standalone, remember with Brave New World, they already established, well, we got adamantium from the freaking dead Eternal that was emerging from Earth. So
Oh,
maybe the Eternals.
there's little things that I missed in Brave New World, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch that today, actually.
Like you could reboot the Eternals, right? Kind of like in the movie, like, hey, Semi would reboot everyone, whatever. So that one I could see where we could have some leeway to change. But the events, I mean, it's already there. We already have like a celestial like emergence, like right there on Earth. And oh, hey, adamantium's from here. So.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else to add before we move on? No. Okay. Well, that concludes
Great
the
segment.
end of the Cosmic Circus Q&A.
Whoa! Yeah,
Woo woo.
it's a lot.
Now we head into our next topic. The first one is going to be Godzilla minus zero. And Mr. Henry, would you like to tell the audience a little about it before we play the trailer?
So this one's gonna be a bit of a sequel to Godzilla minus one. For those who are unfamiliar, it is a revamped version of Godzilla from Toho. Toho was the original creators of Godzilla, the original films. So I'm obviously super excited to see them bringing back their baby. And especially for this sequel film, it seems they're going to be wrapping up the stakes with him traveling to other places other than Japan, which is exciting and scary. Because if you've seen the first one of Godzilla minus zero, he's pretty destructive. So I'm all for it. We love seeing destruction here with Godzilla.
I second that.
Matthew Broderick, right? He was a Godzilla for a while, right? In the movie.
Oh, which one? What?
Matthew Broderick.
That's the 2000s one, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's play this trailer.
You want to sit on my lap for this one, or
I mean, I was thinking you could sit in between both our laps right here.
sit
You
on
might not
both
have
of
enough
them, so we
space.
all sit in the middle?
Exactly.
But then that kind of leaves Henry out of the circle.
Oh no, he's gonna be on.
No,
shoulders.
I'm fine. Trust me.
All right, here we go.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
Okay, Mr. Lex, what did you think about the trailer?
Well, for anyone who has not seen Godzilla minus one, I implore you, go watch it. It is an amazing movie. It is a very heartfelt, heartstring tugging movie. And it shows the indomitable spirit of mankind and its will to survive and persist and carry on despite nuclear war, because this was during World War II, and despite big, scary lizard monsters. It's just the indomitable human spirit and such an amazing movie, such an amazing story. Hell, I would even say to the extent where if you had cut off the Godzilla aspect and just made it like a drama, like a Japanese drama, it would have worked perfectly. That's how good just the story and drama was. And now just add Godzilla into the mix, and it is crazy. It is awesome. It's destructive. It's beautiful. Minus zero, I'm really excited for. We all noted on the trailer, it said 2 years after the event. So we're still in what, like 1947, 48, like we haven't hit the 50s yet. I am interested to see where Godzilla will be going, because this is post World War II, like basically right after. So is he going to continue destruction with the axis of power and maybe hit like Germany and Italy? Or is he going to be like, oh, hey, West Siders, USA won and Britain won and whatever, like, I'm going to go rock your shit and, see who really won the war? Like, I'm more excited to see if they're going to continue with, oh, we were the bad guys in World War II, so we got to get punished. Or, oh, USA brought the nuclear weapons, which is what Godzilla was supposed to represent originally. So, all right, it's USA's turn to, literally get nuked.
sheesh. I actually didn't get a chance to watched the first one.
Motherfucker.
Minus one.
It's on
I've heard
Netflix.
about it. It is?
It's on Netflix, yeah.
All right, sweet. I'll watch that
Those
today.
out there.
All right, Brave New Day and minus one. So is the whole movie in Japanese as well?
Yes.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so it really is that you said the original creators?
Toho, yeah.
What you call him?
Toho?
I mean, he's more of a foot slut, not a Toho,
Yeah.
but all right.
Loves me some feet.
Yeah, exactly.
White toes only.
I would say that I do have one question for Henry since he's our Godzilla expert here. How tall is Godzilla, or how tall is he supposed to be?
There's so many iterations of Godzilla's stature that honestly, I'm not familiar with his height in this one as I am with others, but going off of a poster I remember seeing, you see him standing literally next to the Statue of Liberty. So he's like a little bit under, so just take that as a height or frame of reference.
Okay, so if we're taking that frame of reference, why is it in every iteration I've seen of Godzilla? Why is the water always above his torso? And I've seen him in like the Atlantic Pacific Ocean where realistically, if he was as tall as you say he is, the water's supposed to be by his neck.
You know he can't swim, right?
He's buoyant like
Yeah,
a boat.
he's buoyant.
He's buoyant like a boat.
too.
That's the
But
only
he's
thing that makes
able,
it.
but that's why I want to know how tall he is, because literally in
Oh,
every version,
well, then
he's
most of-
standing up.
Well, when you're
Over the
swimming, you have like the water.
Specifically the
like,
feet that come all the way
Yeah.
down to the ground. It's like,
But I'm saying once you get into like
he's like tiptoeing on the water.
No. If you guys seen the older movies, you guys recall when Godzilla fought, I forgot who it was, but he used his tail to literally scoot across the floor.
Yeah.
It was a big meme. That's what I like to believe Godzilla's doing. He's just using his tail to just... But yeah, no, most of the scenes I remember that happening is when he's near the shoreline. So I'm pretty sure at that point he's standing on like the edge of the ocean already. So I'm pretty sure they'll have that explained sometimes. But in other scenes, like where he's in the middle of the ocean, say like in the MonsterVerse movies where he's fighting, say, King Kong when he's on the raft or on the boat, he's constantly swimming. You know, he's underwater, going over, all that stuff. But then whenever he's on the shore, which, you know, he's tall enough to stand on, you would just be there with, say, the water right here. So that's what I like to think.
I don't think they ever really put him in the middle of the ocean standing. It just looks like it.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Yeah, it does look like it sometimes. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, and like Henry said, in every iteration, he's different sizes. So.
Yeah, they like to toy around with that.
Then if I was one of those guys that was being chased by Godzilla, I'm going on a boat in the middle of the
Step on
ocean.
me, Daddy.
He's gonna swim
He's still gonna swim in the ocean.
You just said he couldn't swim.
No, he can swim. He's like an expert swimmer.
Yeah,
He's a lizard.
He can.
He's water
Yeah.
lizard. Technically.
you're a lizard,
He
Henry.
sleeps,
You're a
he
lizard.
sleeps in the ocean. Or honestly, he sleeps wherever he wants, but he normally sleeps in the ocean sometimes. Or he hunts, just eats.
He's pretty sick.
Sharks
Yeah.
and whales.
Yeah.
Probably
Sick
just
ass
one of
fool.
Yeah.
those whale in the
Yeah, yeah. Little like Shamu, like kind of. Yeah.
Get he eaten?
Like has it on his nose, like bouncing in.
He's for the seals.
Okay. Let's move on to our next trailer here. Dune Part 3. All right. This is one that's a little longer.
I trusted you.
Look like they were sharing the same one.
Yeah.
Never take
She's so
comfort
lucky.
in me. You convinced me that this was your home. That I was your home.
What do you know about me? You've called out the galaxy.
Then again,
You've destroyed thousands of worlds.
Wolverine missing.
I did not know that Jason Momoa was in this movie.
Oh, he captured him, dog.
Isn't it both? Peace is a good thing. Because it's meant to destroy you. We plan to strike the core of the Imperial power.
We still have to talk during this, right? So everything is fine. Okay. I'm not quite little.
Idiot.
Yeah.
He just said a death was
There's a lot of things. That sounds what?
Pulls out a Oompa Loompa. I found so much.
He doesn't need a tool anymore. Does no?
The future has a way. I can't see what's ahead.
How does it feel to be human like everyone else all day?
My fear. Hanging. I'm so true. I keep on watching.
Would you love me if I was one?
That out of context is so relevant. It is so relevant. I'm not gonna say anything though. Would you love me if I was a worm?
Would you love me if I was a one?
That is so relevant, but I'm not gonna say anything.
All right.
With extra
I feel
butter.
like it's right over here. You guys are probably right here, but it's right over here for me. That just sounds funny. Would you love me if I was a worm?
All right. Who wants to start this one off?
Dude, I'm a fan of Dune.
Okay.
I am. Never read the books, but I thought the portrayal. I'm a fan of the portrayal. I mean, honestly, it's pretty cool. But my big thing is like etymology, like history of words, and just the creation of words like that. Just for them to take that as an important factor of the whole series. You know, their ability to dictate and like just pretty much control somebody with word. It's phenomenal. I love that. It's such a good concept for life in general.
You, Mr. Lex?
I mean, I'm really excited because not only, as J Spot was saying, these last two movies were absolutely phenomenal. We have to remember that this was the basis of, or one of the bases of modern science fiction and sci-fi and space travel. I mean, hell, George Lucas was heavily inspired by the Dune books and even spice. That's a same characteristic in Star Wars and in Dune. It's the spice trading and the spice in Dune and everything like that. So I feel like it's kind of like, you know, sitting down and listen to your grandfather or grandmother's stories of how the past were and everything. It's like, oh, this is the origin. This is how things started. I mean, Timothée Chalamet is just incredible in these movies. I remember when Doom 2 came out and Willy Wonka, it was really hard not to like see like the Nissan Al-Gaib or whatever in like the Willy Wonka verse.
Yeah, Lisan Al-Gaib.
Yeah, it's just like I'm waiting for like Willy Wonka to just like shout it out and just be like, you know, here we go. And then rewatching Dune 2, I was waiting for Paul Atreides to go like, "Come with me, and you'll be."
It was funny. It's funny you brought that up because I remember seeing someone splice it together, the two movies, where it's like, "My name's Willy Wonka," and today, or
Oh yeah, when he's in the
ladies and gentlemen of the chocolate gourmet,
Yeah.
my name is Paul Atreides. Don't come back. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh my god, Willy Wonka got insane. But yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought too. I couldn't. It was hard taking the Willy Wonka movie seriously when I was just thinking, oh my god, Paul Atreides.
And then after seeing the Willy Wonka movie and going back to the Dune, it was just hard to be like, like I just saw you like talk to an Oompa Loompa. Like, how do I go back to like Paul Atreides? You know?
Yeah.
Would you love me if I was a worm?
That's what Zendaya tells them in June. You know, it's like, would you love me if I was a worm?
For those who read the books,
It's so funny
no,
to me,
you
dude.
know.
But yeah, I mean,
Oh no.
And then, once those Dune popcorn buckets came out, it's like, yes, babe, I will love you forever.
Oh no!
Extra butter, and I'll love you forever. Like, no popcorn, please. Just extra butter down the wormhole, please.
Oh my god!
But yeah, I mean, these movies were...
Did anybody see the Supergirl cups that were released?
Yeah.
No! Oh no!
Oh, those were
Wait, was
amazing.
that real?
Those were really
That was 100% real.
I saw them at Cinemark. Those were real.
Oh my god! Seeing someone hold it with their hand.
Pull
I'm
it back real quick. Excuse me?
Yeah.
Don't take a picture of the back of it, please. Just we can take a picture, just the front side.
It was...
That was real.
Everyone that
it was
took a
real.
picture had it backwards and holding
Yeah.
it like
Oh no, man! That's
I know that Mr. Lex despises Superman, but
abhors
abhors
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I need to pass.
What the-
Superman.
Whoa!
Superman.
Whoa,
Superman.
hey
Whoa.
there.
Excuse me.
How
Oh
dare
man, that's a big
When I-
accusation.
you.
When I
Let me
saw
close his ears.
You know,
It's
it's like earmuffs.
You're my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I heard you. So like,
Here, let me give you a kiss, you say? But yes, Doom, you were saying about despising, rightfully so, despising Superman?
Supergirl and her super cup.
I just found that.
no, so what made me think of that was I saw an interview that who's the actor that plays Superman? What's his name?
Corn Sweat.
David Cornsweet.
David
Yes.
Corn Sweat, yeah.
Someone showed him a picture of that Supergirl popcorn bucket. He's like, I have no comment. I don't even.
No, he's like that one meme, like, that's a penis.
That's a penis.
That's a penis.
My God. Henry, do you have any thoughts about the Dune 3 trailer?
I mean, I'm sad that this is possibly their last film of the trilogy, but super packed with lore, this one. I'm all excited for it. I'm probably gonna be yelling the chant in the theater. Freaking and geez, like there's gonna be a lot to take in, so I'll have to rewatch both movies right before I go see it because there's a
100%.
lot to unpack, especially for the third film, from what I've been told. I mean, I'm probably gonna read the books, to be honest, because as I have a coworker who actually read up to book 4,
Mm-hmm.
and he tells me that it is really interesting of a read, especially with there's apparently a total of 8 or 9 books.
Yeah, I was gonna say once it gets passed down to his son and it's
Yeah,
the 70s and
exactly.
the cocaine, like
Yeah,
those books take a wild turn once cocaine became
they
popular.
did,
Yeah.
and
Does
I
it-
don't know if we're
does
gonna see a little bit of that in
references-
this film, but if it is, it'll be interesting. But who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see.
Okay.
Okay. Any last thoughts on the Dune 3 trailer?
I still want it to be a Doomsday movie release. I want my Barbieheimer again, so I want my Doomsday again, where I
But
see both of them
they
back to back.
separated it now. I think.
No, they're still
They're still
still not-
together.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
the same.
What about the IMAX
No.
slots?
So that's different.
Disney
They're
Vision, I
doing
think
they're doing that Infinity Vision.
that
no?
one. Thank you.
Oh, okay,
So yeah.
okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be packed.
Well, Lords, this concludes a very special episode containing our very first guest ever, J-Spot. We here would like to thank him for taking the time and effort to not only come and do this episode to begin with, but help with our first pre-recorded episode so that we can get into that format and be able to do other media options and just if any inconveniences or any mal or misfortunes befall us, we know how to do things like this. And J Spot was not only an amazing guest to have on the show, funny, witty, and devilishly handsome, but he helped us out in getting this format out. And now we're prepared for the next time something like this happens. We really hope you enjoyed this episode from Henry Mid Cooks and Doom. We thank you, J Spot. We hope you, as the audience, enjoy it. And until next time, goodbye.
Take care.